Analysis of the movie 3 O'Clock High, 1987. This 80s classic is a teen comedy that mixes school tension with plenty of ironic humor. The story follows Jerry Mitchell, an ordinary student who, by sheer bad luck, catches the attention of the school's new kid, the feared Buddy Revel, known for being violent and hating to be touched. The problem is that Jerry accidentally bumps into him and within minutes is challenged to a fight at 3 o'clock after school. The movie builds a funny, suspenseful atmosphere because the whole plot revolves around Jerry's desperate attempts to avoid the fight. He tries everything, skipping school, asking for help, coming up with crazy schemes, but nothing works. This simple premise is what makes the movie so entertaining. It turns the school setting into almost an epic battlefield, but with lots of comedy. Fun facts about 3 O'Clock High, 1987, inspired by a true story. The screenplay was loosely based on an actual incident one of the writers experienced in high school. Executive producer Steven Spielberg was originally attached as executive producer, but he later removed his name from the credits because the studio wanted to distance the film from his style. Different from other teen comedies, while many 80s teen comedies followed the John Hughes formula, this film stood out for its darker tone and exaggerated, almost surreal style. Filming location. The movie was shot at Ogden High School in Utah, a real functioning school that gave the film its authentic feel. Box office failure, cult success. At the time of its release, the movie did not do well financially, but over the years it gained a strong cult following thanks to VHS and TV airings. Buddy Revel's intense portrayal. Actor Richard Tyson, who played Buddy, stayed in character during filming to keep the intimidating aura and often avoided interacting with the cast between takes. One-day story. The entire film takes place in a single school day, which helps increase the tension as the clock ticks toward 3 o'clock. Lessons from 3 O'Clock High, 1987. Avoiding problems does not make them go away. Jerry spends most of the movie trying to escape the fight, but the tension only grows, showing that sometimes the only way forward is to face your fears. Courage is not the absence of fear, but action despite it. Jerry is terrified of Buddy, yet he learns to stand his ground when it matters. Most. Reputation can change in an instant. Jerry starts the day as a quiet, unnoticed student, but after standing up for himself, he gains respect from his peers. Bullies are not invincible. The film shows that intimidation often relies on fear, and once someone resists, the balance of power can shift. Growth comes from challenges. The confrontation forces Jerry to discover inner strength he never imagined he had. The movie 3 O'Clock High, 1987, had a production budget of approximately $5 million and grossed only about $3.6 million at the box office, being considered a commercial failure at the time. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film 3 O'Clock High, 1987, holds a 60% tomatometer score from critics, while its audience score, popcorn meter, is 73%.
I watched this movie many times when I was a child. I would watch it every time it aired on TV, and I loved it. I was just a kid, but it was very easy for me to relate to this film. It shows the epic confrontation between a nerd and a bully, and the poor nerd doesn't have the attributes to stand up to the bully all the time. The nerd tries to avoid the bully, looking for some way not to fight him. But this part can frustrate a lot of people. Many might not relate to the nerd. But it's understandable. The bully is huge and has a reputation for being dangerous. So the nerd's fear makes total sense. For me, the climax of the movie is when the nerd tries to bribe the bully. So he won't get beaten up. At that moment, the bully even accepts the money, but he also throws some truths in the nerd's face, saying he's not a real man, that he's a coward. This triggers a change in the nerd, and you witness a cowardly nerd turning into a real man. Because from that point on, he decides to face his fears and confront the bully. This is really cool because the movie teaches lessons about what it means to be a real man and how a real man must face his fears. So, one really liked this movie because of these lessons. It was very easy for me to identify with it as a child. And it's a film that brings back values that, lately, men seem to be losing about what it means to be a real man, visually and narratively. The film follows that exaggerated 80s style, full of quick cuts, energetic music, and absurd situations, which keeps the story light and cartoonish. It's not a deep movie, but it's great for laughing at the overblown tension that every teenager has felt at school at some point. In the end, 3 O'Clock High is a fun satire of high school life, showing that sometimes the biggest battle we face is not against the bully, but against our own fears. That's all for now. If everything goes well, See you in the next video. Until then.